Here's another exam level problem with integral calc. So let's see, I'll give you 3, 2, 1 to solve it. Okay, let's go through this. So yeah, when you look at this, you're gonna think trig substitution because of these square roots and these squares, and it's just, you know, of course they can trick you, and they often try to trick you, but we are gonna try that. And especially because they say your answer cannot contain any inverse trigonometric functions. So we're thinking trig substitution is going to be very likely here. So trig substitution, there's kind of two things for trig substitution. One is recognizing the pattern and knowing which substitution to make. That's just kind of memorization. You can just memorize those. That's fine. And then at the end, there's something to do at the end, which we'll go through. So with this substitution, our task is just to replace all of the x's with thetas. So the dx as well, that's obviously very, very important. We have to substitute that. Look at all this that we have to sub out. So we do the substitution and we simplify it and we get this nice thing because we recognize the right pattern to use and the right substitution to make. So when we sub that in, so here we're going from x's all to thetas. And look at that, it simplifies down very easily. You're able to do the integral very easily. And now is that second part that I was talking about, which is subbing back in terms of x. So we were not allowed to leave our answer with any trig in it. So now we have to sub back. And to do that, we just use our initial substitution. We did x equals 3 secant theta. And so this gives us a triangle. So we can actually draw out a triangle of this with theta and x and 3. And we can use that to compute any of the other ratios we need, like sine or cosine or tangent or whatever. In this case, we need sine because the answer was in sine. That's what we have to replace and get it back in terms of x's. And so we do it that way. All right, a carousel's coming next, so you don't have to worry about copying all this down. So the next video is a carousel, so follow if you want to see more of that. Pretty good prep, lots of exam practice. That's what I do.